right, guys. So failure, you feel me? Failure is necessary for anything great. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. You know what I'm saying? We at least heard about it now. But how do we use our failures, right? How do we take those lessons in and really learn and adapt from those mistakes, from those bad decisions, from those good decisions that turned out to a bad result, right? How do we adapt and take that information, those experiences, and turn them for the better, right? First of all, man, you gotta accept it, right? You gotta accept that it happened. You gotta accept the loss, right? Right? Accept that this didn't go, as the situation didn't go as planned. You feel me? The relationship didn't go through. The loan didn't come through. You couldn't pick up the car because of your credit. You couldn't get into that place because of your credit or whatever previous living circumstances you had going on. You gotta accept these situations. You feel me? Fall out with friends. You gotta accept it all, man. Life changes, people change, things happen, right? That's always the first step is acceptance. Because once you gain acceptance, that's when you can be like, all right, cool. You feel me? Um, all right, I'm receiving the help. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Now, what can I learn from this eviction? What can I learn from losing this job? What can I learn from this breakup? What can I learn from this fallout? What can I learn from, you feel me, dealing with people, everyday situations, bills, stuff like that? What can I learn from the situation at hand, right? Because once we accept it, okay, this is happening, or it's happening, right? Now it's time to learn something. You feel me? You gotta learn from it. You can't continue to put yourself in the same position and make the same mistakes and then expect something different to happen. That's not how this life works. And usually, and I'm gonna give you a gem. Usually we fail a lot because we be on this insanity shit. We do the same exact thing expecting a different result. We say the same thing, we hang out with the same people, we go to the same place, we smoke the same weed, we drink the same. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a repetitive cycle of insanity, right? And that's usually, if not always, you know, the other common denominator in the situation besides you, right? Uh, Falling guilty to insanity, right? Doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome, right? Now it has pros and cons, but that's only with certain things, like going to the gym, building your physique. You feel me? Investing, small amount turn into a big amount, right? But we talking about failures. So when you continue to do these mistakes, these bad choices, right, and you expect something different to happen from them, that you oftentimes are not gonna like the results, right? Because let's say I had a gambling problem, right? Let's say we got a gambling problem, right? And we can't help but gamble. Every day we gambling. Every night we gambling. We at the casino, we buying scratch offs, and we thinking like, man, all I gotta do is hit big one time. But then when you actually look at the research and the statistics of winning big through gambling, scratch offs, and stuff like that, remember you're just one person, right? So the odds are against you within the millions, if not the billions. You get what I'm saying? Depending on where you live, hundreds of thousands, you feel me, per capita. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta understand and accept the fact that, hey, okay, I got a gambling problem. I keep wasting my money thinking I'm going to strike big, and I done already blew through $500 at the Jack Black table or at the slots or on scratch offs, right? You spent 500, you only got back 25, right? So now you gotta accept the fact that, okay, I have an issue with this gambling. I have an issue with the dopamine of maybe I'll hit, right? Maybe I'll hit and win big. You get what I'm saying? And you got to be able to be like, okay, this is where I'm fucking up. This is where I'm fucking up. I keep doing the same thing, and I'm expecting something different to happen as if it's actually going to happen. And you see the results, right? You see the results. It's not happening, right? You're not winning big. You know what I mean? You're not, you know, Mark Wahlberg from The Gambler, and even his outcome wasn't ideal. You know what I mean? So you accept the fact that you got a gambling problem, right? You took the lessons from it, lost out on hundreds, sometimes thousands, if not millions. There's people out there with a really bad addiction problem, right? So now, how do we adapt? How do we learn and adapt from the loss, right? Because humans, we're adaptive creatures. You feel me? Pretty much everything on this planet has adapted to everything around, right? So we do. So now you, as a human being, as a man, as a woman, have to look at it. Okay, if you know that you drive past the casino every day to work, every day after work, right? Take a different route home. You get what I'm saying? So I take a different route home. You know, maybe not drive to work that day. Maybe get on the bus. Maybe the public transportation takes a different route to get to the same destination, right? See, when you give yourself this full responsibility when it pertains to your failures, that's when you can actually adapt to them. That's when you can actually prevent yourself from making that same mistake or doing those same excuses again because now you're taking responsibility into your hands. Now you're looking at life from a different perspective. Now you're looking at it from the perspective of okay, yeah, nah, that's right, I got a problem. All right, cool. I shouldn't be doing this, right? And I shouldn't be going to these places, and I shouldn't be hanging out with these people, and I shouldn't be relying on this substance, and I shouldn't be doing this, right? Identifying the problem is just as key as taking accountability of the problem, right? Because if you can't identify your failures, if you can't identify where you're wrong at, you'll just stay in an endless loop, an endless cycle of the same mistakes happening over again, right? I always give you guys a bit of my story, man. Like I have an impulse buying on food. You know what I'm saying? Those who know me, you know what I'm saying? I used to be 300 something pounds, right? So that's a very real situation for me in my life. You feel me? So what I do is I live across from an entire shopping center, right? There's fast food, there's restaurants, the whole nines, like quick little quickie stores where you go and get your snacks and chips and stuff like that. So every day I'm faced with my shortcomings, if you will. You feel me? My vice, if you will. And that's it's impulse buying on food. You feel me? And so to give you an example of what I would do in my situation, I avoid that entire street. Right? I purposely walk 3 blocks out the way. You know what I'm saying? And that's me taking full accountability of my situation. That's me taking full responsibility of what's going on with what I'm trying to conquer. The flaw, if you will, in my own being. You know what I'm saying? So when you do these things, right? When you take the accountability, right? When you learn your patterns, right? When you see the damage that you are causing yourself, right? It actually gives a sense of relief because now you know that there's a way out. And I think a lot of people get stuck in their situations, and a lot of people get stuck in their flaws and stuff like that. It's just that they try to overcome because they don't see a way out, right? Because 9 times out of 10, they're not implementing these steps. They're not identifying. You feel me? They're not identifying the triggers or what triggers you, location, association, different things. They're not going out their way to try to figure out these things. So they stay in this endless loop of doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome because they have no other way of looking at it. They literally can't look at it no other way because they can't fathom 906. Yeah, right. They can't figure it out. You feel me? They can't put it together and be like, okay, yeah, this is my fault, right? I shouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? Or or I need to get away from these people, or I need to move, or whatever. However the situation may look to you as it pertains to your failures. You feel me? Failing is actually a very good thing because if we don't fail, we don't grow, right? It's like I said, it's like it's being stuck in a loop of insanity, right? You're doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome, right? You can't fathom doing something else, right? Because you don't have the wherewithal to identify, process, and then adapt, right? Because that's what it is, man. That's all failure is. Identifying the issue, right? Learning and then adapting from the issue. You feel me? Like it's really not that hard. You feel me? Like, and it takes work. And I think that's what troubles us. At least now, at least in today's age, more than ever, is because it takes time, right? A lot of times, 9 times out of 10, if you've been doing something for a very long time, it's going to take a very long time for you to stop doing said thing. You get what I'm saying? Because you've been doing this for so long that it's almost in your nature to do it. You get what I'm saying? Let's say you got a drinking problem. You've been drinking for 12 years. It's gonna take some time for you to fully get sober, right? It's gonna take some time for you to and commitment for you to really be like, yeah, no, I'm not picking up the sauce no more, right? I'm not going out Friday nights to the bar with the fellas. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I probably got to stay away from the fellas for a little bit because if that's what they do every Friday, right? Especially if you want to make this change. You know what I'm saying? So it's very easy to get stuck in this light, y'all. It's very easy to get stuck in the 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 mindset of insanity as it pertains to failures, bro. It's very easy to get stuck in there, right? Giving another side of my life, you know what I'm saying? Avid weed smoker. You know what I'm saying? I was smoking weed for about 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like since an adolescent. Hit my first blunt. I was an adolescent, you know what I'm saying? Hanging around the wrong folks, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it was up until this year where I was actually able to take control of my habits. You know what I'm saying? And by the grace of God, you feel me? And hard work and effort towards that shit, I'm able to be where I'm at today talking to you guys. You get what I'm saying? So never take your failures as like, okay, this is where I'm gonna stay at, right? Because once you do that, you lost, man. You already lost, man. You get into the mindset of there's no way out. You might as well hang in the towel if you try. Right? You can never get complacent in that mindset. You can never let that thing or those people or that place or that substance get you to the point where you feel like you can't overcome. Right? You don't want to wave the white flag in your head. You don't want to give in to the failure. You feel me? Because it's possible, bro. It's very possible, and I'm speaking from experience, man. That was one point in time in my life I thought I'd never stop be able to stop smoking weed. I thought I would be forever smoking weed, right? It was days I felt like I couldn't live without it. You feel me? So like this information ain't coming from a an opinion that's never had these sort of struggles, and we all got it. You feel me? But I know it always feels good to have, you feel me, a relatable story. You feel me? Somebody that can actually relate to certain things, because we all can't relate to everything, but we can relate to certain things. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Man, so that's my little podcast for today, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your failures make you who you is, you feel me? You gotta make sure that you accept, identify, and then adapt from your failures. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and like the content, man. Go and subscribe. Click that like button, you feel me? Turn on that notification bell so you know whenever your boy dropping some more content, man. And I get with y'all on the next one, man. Love y'all. Stay safe out there.